My most recent review of the Jaka Guardians line was Nebula and Craiglin. Both these figures feature some great custom molded parts and great prints, especially Craiglin being that Jaka light minifigure, and they pair well with the Star-Lord and the Gamora by Jaka that I've also already reviewed. Continuing this line, I have two additional figures again to review, this time being Drax as well as Mantis, all from Guardians 3, and I'm very excited to compare these to the rest of the figures here, but let's go ahead and check out the packaging. Both of which just use the standard Jaka Bricks case, where it is just a plastic sort of container with a lid that slides off. It's really just friction holding it on. Inside you get the bags for the minifigures, extra heads, and accessories for Drax. Same goes for Mantis. Looks like in Drax I got two stickers, one of which being Namor, and then one being the Nike shoes that they did. It's kind of a goofy sticker to get, I guess, but hey, cool to get something free at least. And for Mantis, minifigure, and the hairpiece. And it looks like she's just going to end up having a double-sided head and only one head. And for her, stickers being Saul and Vision from WandaVision. Inside their cases, they have their metal sort of trading card with the render of the minifigure and their logo. On the other side, just to write up about their company. You can find them on Instagram at JakaBrick. Same goes for Drax, where it'll be the exact same type of card, where it is the metallic silver, his render, and then same thing on the back. Lots of stuff to go over here, so let's go ahead and get into the review. We'll start off with Mantis, since she has kind of the least amount of accessories. You get the very nice Guardian suit here, which is based off of the Ravager suits from the first movie, and of course the comic designs. It is going to reuse the legs and the torso and one of the arms from Nebula, other than the fingerless gloves being a different color. So nice and consistent there. Obviously, since she has the robot arm, it's not going to be a perfect match torso-wise. So you get the full suit here for the slightly different female design for this suit, where it has more curves. I think the legs are the exact same though, so of course they're all going to look good and consistent together, which is what you're going to be looking for a full team like this. As I turn the head around, you can see that there is an alternative expression on this head. You do only get the one head though, so that's a bit of a bummer. I would have enjoyed being able to put both faces on maybe the official minifigure to make that one a little bit more interesting and more accurate, since the smiling face is a pretty good look, especially from the movies, and would match the Drax one that we'll take a look at later. I put it on the other reviews too. It does have that collar piece that goes around the neck, so when you are switching between the different expressions, that's something you'll have to sort of mess around with a little bit to keep it on the right direction. When it comes to the legs, super great printing, where it wraps around on the inside with extra boot detailing there. Same goes for the back. The arms as well are going to be printed on the inside with some extra detailing with the different leather bits and straps and all that continue all the way around the arms. So great to see nice detailing continued all over the figure. And I kept the hairpiece off for now because Jaka's hairpieces are very hard to get on and off. It looks like for some reason they did this in flesh color instead of black color. So as you're trying to pry it off, you'll probably eventually chip off some of the black from this, unless it is a dual mold. Kind of hard to tell, but doesn't really seem like it. But with that being said, we'll toss this on. I'm going to switch the facial expression around since this will probably be the default look for me. And as soon as I get the hairpiece on, probably not going to want to take it off and on. So let's go ahead and throw that together. And I guess I'm kind of noticing it where the flesh coloring for the antennas isn't going to be a perfect match, unfortunately. So kind of bummed to see that, but it's going to be nice compared to the official ones that look more like horns. These ones do kind of curve towards the front and look a lot more accurate to the movie. They're thinner and also have like the bulbs at the end, so a lot more accurate to the movie as well as the comics. So that is going to be nice for collectors that want to maybe do a fig barf of the comic version. Boom, there you go. Do you think her skin color kind of changes in the comics every once in a while, where it'll be green or sometimes flesh like this? There's another feature to it if you have a black light. See, when I have the lighting all the way up, you can see it glows a little bit, and of course, lights off, glows a little bit more. It's too bad it isn't like a glow in the dark effect. So it's going to be a little bit harder to find the right scenarios where you're going to be able to actually light it up and make it look good. If it's glow in the dark, it'd be a little bit easier. You could put the black light on it. It will glow for a bit, even with the lights on. It's an interesting effect, though, and it does kind of represent her powers in the movies when she ends up having that. But, you know, that's kind of it for the figure. I think, facial expression-wise, decent look. Nothing too terrible. Again, with the Jaka hair pieces, though, it sucks that they're super tight. Like, you really have to get in there and pry it open and push it off. And it's just a whole stressful thing with especially the female hair pieces. The male ones usually aren't as bad since they don't go around the head and around the shoulders and all that. And just don't want to risk touching it and breaking it because I've had that happen too many times. But great looking suit, like I said, for Nebula. And nice to add her to the collection for these Guardians 3 movie figures. But let's go to Drax. And I did briefly show it off with Mantis, where he does have the bag of the extra heads. I brought it up earlier in the video too, but that is because you get the very nice tattoo detailing on the back of the minifigure, which is something that Lego did on their official ones too. Looks like detailing is going to pretty much be the same there. This one might be like a little thinner and less detailed, but it seems pretty much the same to me. No extra side head printing or anything like that, but I think that is accurate to his tattoo anyway. And torso and legs, other than the printed hands, like I kind of pointed out with Mantis as well. Same exact figure as Peter, but different heads. Get the collar piece as well for this figure, so as you're switching the heads out, you're going to have to keep an eye out for that to make sure you remember to actually move it. Best part, though, is his knives, which are greatly detailed, nice and printed as well. The silver looks great there. Looks like the handles are like a gunmetal. I'm hoping that the whole piece is gunmetal, not printed, so you won't have to worry about damaging them, but I guess the painted fingertips is what you would have to worry about getting damaged. It's kind of cool with these suits. The only thing that isn't printed is the side of the torso. So lots of detailing all the way throughout, whether it is just the dark red, which looks very nice. I do like it on the darker color there. It really makes it a more muted, realistic leather sort of look. Metallic silvers and golds look cool too with the emblem, as well as different belt detailings, which I could have pointed out on Mantis too, but just talking about it here since there isn't as much to go over. And the blades are actually kind of interesting where the handles are curved. They're not going to be just straight. So that could cause some weird stress issues maybe down the line, but you also got a little hole at the top there that could be used as like a hook or some sort of way to hang the accessories. Obviously no way to like holster these on his legs or anything like they would be in the movie. But I'm pretty sure you could clip them in both ways. The way that I do have them clipped on right now, I believe is how they are in the movies. That's why I did that. And of course you could have it the other direction as well if you want to do different poses for photos or anything like that. That's kind of the base figure. This head is the one that comes on by default. Let's go ahead and switch out the different heads and check those out. The stern neutral face might be my favorite look. I do like the screaming one that was on before too, but it is interesting to look at this one, how it compares to the official one. The red obviously doesn't stand out as well on this version compared to this one with the much more clear printing, and it has the blue eyes, which are definitely different than any other Drax I have in my collection, since I only have the official ones. I guess the comic version, but really it is just subtle differences with how they did the cheekbones, the mouth, which makes it a little bit more accurate to Dave Bautista probably, but would be personal taste. You know, the tattoo is going to look the exact same on the back, so no changes there. But another good look. Definitely could use this in a lot of different scenes from the movies. And this last design is his laughing face, which is definitely going to be a lot more fitting for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 scenes and figures. So probably would toss this on one of the versions of those figures from that movie. But same great detailing. You know, it is accurate to the character in a lot of his different scenes. Maybe not the third movie, though. Unless, you know, it's at the end of the dance scenes. I think he probably was laughing there, but a lot more serious of a movie, obviously. So it's nice to get this. Not going to be super accurate to the source material for Volume 3, but another great facial expression. And like I said, we'll go with the other version of Mantis if you wanted to pair those together in some way. All that being said, let's go to the final comparisons. And of course, the final verdict. Getting into our comparison, again, I'm going to reiterate some facts from my previous Jaka Guardians reviews. Obviously, the official minifigures were a little bit less amazing, and the upgrade between the two different styles here is just night and day better, which it should be. You spend more money, you get better figures. You know, I'm always torn between heads for Drax, what color they should be. I do like the more comic accurate green here. Every other version of the character has been that lighter gray though. So is what it is there. I feel like for the eyes on Mantis here, look good, you know, in the movie now probably a little bit more big and buggy. Kind of feels like the same sort of pupil type shape as any other character. So that might be something that people are a bit bummed about, but I'm fine with it. Looks good, which is what matters to me. Some people just really screw up facial design. So better to leave it looking good than making some sort of weird monstrosity. And it's just fun to see all these different custom minifigures from different years, different companies, all pretty seamless. You know, when they do get to those like movie suits, they can be a little bit on the over detailed side. I definitely feel like for the generic Ravager Guardian style suits, kind of nailed it. I do really like the dark red. I've mentioned that before, so those detailings are nice, and it is cool to see them be able to reuse some of the different parts between them. I'm sure that cuts down on costs, makes it easier to make all these figures. So mainly that would be the arms and the legs. But now that I have these ones, I think I'm only missing Groot and Rocket, and I think they're making Cosmo. Definitely going to want to get all of them, so hopefully they come out, and they come out soon so I can have the full set. But so far, I definitely say all of these have been pretty great quality and have been a bit better than the rest of the Jaka figures I've had, other than Gamora with her issues. But Star-Lord, probably still my favorite. Really love that one, but let me know out of all of the Guardians figures in my collection so far from Jaka, which one's your favorite? I know also Kraglyn's a good number 2, maybe tied with number 1, but great options. If you want to see more custom Lego or custom Lego Marvel videos in particular, check out all the videos on my channel. I have been Brick Radiop, and I will see you in the next video.